huge racks that go for miles.
Please be respectful of the performers. Don't be a creep.
You got the usher right there with his ticket.
Okay guys, we're back at Universal Studios Florida. It's time for another massive Halloween Horror Nights 2026 update. Massive set pieces have popped up inside the park. New HHN snacks to try. So on that note, it's time to talk about the Halloween Horror Nights shirt of the day. This is gonna be the wonderful icon shirt from HHN 30. So on that note, enjoy the commercial.
Can anybody hear me? Let me out! Let me go!
Universal's Halloween Horror Nights, back for the 30th year of fear. Brace yourself for Netflix's The Haunting of Hill House, Beetlejuice, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and more.
Okay, welcome back. They still have not painted yet, so this is gonna be an interesting opening. I don't know where they're gonna put the medallion.
Now we are just
6 days!
away from the opening night of Halloween Horror Nights 35. As you know, this fills with a massive crowd, with everybody trying to watch the opening ceremony. How are they gonna funnel everybody through that little area? All right, we've made it in. Let's see what big changes have happened for today.
One of the changes we forgot to talk about when we were at Horror Unleashed. So we were there on the 1-year anniversary. And if you didn't know, if you're a team member or a Disney cast member, when you hit different anniversaries, 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, you get a special little pin that goes on your name tag. So Horror Unleashed has a custom little golden jack when you hit your 1-year anniversary at Horror Unleashed that goes on your name tag. So it's the same design as the studio Screamer, but I'm guessing, they'll have Jack for the first year, probably Chance for year number 5. But it's cool, there's an exclusive little pin for the name tags out there.
So Ethan was outside of the gates last night, and he got a great shot of how this looks when it's all lit up. So it's gonna be split in half.
Now some of the creatives working on HHN posted some stuff. So Jason said this about the Stranger Things Return to Hawkins show. I'm so proud of this entire team and the incredible show we've created together. This one is truly special. I cannot wait to share it with the world next week, HHN 35. And then Michael says this, so happy with how this show turned out. Can't wait to show off what our fantastic team of talents have created. So Ramon tweeted out this, less than a week out, home stretch, 2 current moods. This event is going to blow your minds, folks. Hundreds of people have come together to present you all with an anniversary year for the ages. Hope you're ready. Hashtag HHN 35.
The Wicked shop is still open. I don't remember these plants though. Purple and green planters over there, and then yellow and pink. It feels just like yesterday we were freaking out over the first major set piece that got installed. Good morning, crusty lip clown.
It's just sad that the HHN update season's almost over. It has just flown by this year. But I just love seeing the details being added every single day. You really appreciate what's going on, how much effort goes into it.
They got the signage over here, Halloween Horror Nights 35. Into Fort Nightmares we go. Let's see if anything has changed. Oh, there's the bus. We can see the bus at the end. So this is interesting because we actually got the Fort Nightmares bus. Hollywood got the standard bus for some reason. There's a chest that's been added, but let's go see what's going on with the bus. You have all these different gravestones, candles with pumpkins and gravestones all over the top of the bus. Down below we can see a speaker there. Looks like a subwoofer right there, and then another speaker right there. So they're gonna be blasting audio from the bus. Then on the back it says Battle Bus. You can see some LEDs going into the top of the pumpkins, so the pumpkins are definitely going to glow on top of the battle bus. Looks like Parkside Fair is getting a special HHN menu. Eats and treats. Elotes are here. It's like one has Flamin' Hot Cheetos on it. Then also there's going to be fried dough with garlic, Parmesan, or powdered sugar on it. But it says, bring the whole pack to the Howl at the Moon Barkside Scare Community Pet Event in Central Park, October 31st, 5 p.m. Come for the treats, stay for the tricks, fun for all. Pet costume contest, pet costume parade, pumpkin carving with a training session. Werewolves are not permitted.
They were finishing up the tentacle yesterday. Let's see what's going on. Should be done. They've added a carpet to the ramp. People said HR Blood and Guts is a blast. That's one of my most hyped houses for the year. They're still working on stuff. You see the team's going in there. There's a little red lantern that's been added next to that crate. It looks like the tentacle grabber from the UFO has been finished. Now there's also the second one off to the other side. I think that one's also been finished. So I think they're pretty much done with the facade. I'm sure they're working on a couple little details, but it looks like they're pretty much done.
Again, everything is pretty much done. There's not too many updates left for HHN until the event starts.
So then no HHN update tomorrow. There's just not much happening. I might take the day off to kind of recharge before the big crazy week, or we might go to Lowe's or Home Depot and just cover all the different Halloween merchandise. I will see how I'm feeling in the morning. There might not be a video tomorrow because we just did, what, 8 videos in a row? So I need a little bit of a recharge before. Next week is gonna be insane.
Not too many changes in the Ozzy bar. We did get some speakers. The speakers are right next to the Ozzy truss, and the same thing over here. There's a speaker right next to the Ozzy truss. So I'm guessing they'll be blaring Ozzy Osbourne music. Same thing over here. There's another speaker for the music, but no additions to the Ozzy bar. I think they're just waiting for a team member preview. So now we know where the Evil Dead Bites booth is gonna be. It's gonna be right here. They put the signage up right there, so they're kind of using pre-existing food booths to serve the HHN food. So Evil Dead Bites will be right here. The pumpkins are still missing from Club Horror from the bottom of the trusses. You know who else is still missing? John. John has not tweeted out in a couple days. Kind of worried about him, but don't worry, we still got the John content. We got one more question we asked John. So we had Killer Clowns returning this year. So when you have a returning house or IP, how does that work? Do you just have a list of houses that you can kind of pull from?
It's not quite as like laid out as that. It's we started doing that. I want to say coming out of the pandemic, we started like bringing a house, like a blast from the past back, and featuring it at the event. Killer Clowns is kind of an easy choice because it was so popular. Like the first year we did Killer Clowns, the line for that was longer than like some of our biggest marketing properties that year, and that was a real eye opener for me because, like I said, I'm one of the few people who actually saw that movie in the theater when it came out. But even I didn't realize how big Killer Clowns had come over time, and it's actually, you know, I always thought of it as like this niche kind of B movie that had a very cult following, but over time it's kind of expanded into something bigger.
Do you have to, like, I guess, rebuild everything from scratch, or do you have this stuff in storage?
No, rebuild it all from scratch.
Okay.
I mean, in terms of the scenic and the walls, like that's like a bulldozer striking it. We might have like certain set pieces. We keep certain key things, and we have a big, huge offsite facility that is in a place nobody will ever find. That is like a prop house. It's like a movie prop house. It's massive. It's like that end scene in Raiders, where there's just, you know, crates on huge racks that go for miles. It's all in a database, and my art director can look up, okay, let's see, I need a Victorian era door, and he can look through our inventory of doors. So there's certain things you keep and there's certain things you destroy, but we try to recycle as much as we can in terms of the assets.
There's John Murdy right there. John! John's alive. He's back on Twitter. So, a couple other HHN Hollywood updates. Just added our new backlit HHN sign to our redesigned fire tower along
with mini stage / runway for the performers. The Scare Zone on French Street will have a mini scare gauntlet. Guests will have a choice to enter or not. The visual of Lola standing on the balcony of the burned out remains of her parents' house singing 15 Candles is going to be seared into your mind. Took a big swing on this one, and once again our scare actors knocked it out of the park. Was able to see the Hellraiser facade with all the elements working. You're gonna freak out. Pinhead has such sights to show you. Then someone asked John this: so is Blood Bog going near Hogsmeade / Fast and Furious? And John says, on the way to the Tear Tramp before the bridge. What about Dead, Deader, Deadest? John says, already rehearsed that. Looks great. How'd Evil Dead go? Good. Done with everything but Stranger Things and Tear Tramp. That's next week. John, how many times for rehearsals did you rehearse for Kill Siniera last night? 15? John says, they do constant run-throughs. Thank you for giving us the HHN sign. Orlando's uses multiple colors. Will Hollywood's be similar? John says, it can be multicolored, but I think it wants to be red. What's not done with Stranger Things? John says, final scenic elements, final props, and dressing. And lastly, are there more props coming for Fort Nightmare's Fire Towers? John says, there's more stuff coming, being fabricated off-site.
At the bar, we got some changes. We got the red and purple lighting right above the bar. Now, everybody who's coming for shot 35, you can't get it till the opening of HHN.
That was just between you and me. Like, this is unofficial, off the record. No one knows about this, right?
But they gotta wait, premium screen? Can they get it during premium screen?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, if your team members out there, I'll see you on Monday and Tuesday.
Over here by the Amity Boat Tours, the light bulbs have also been changed over here. So everywhere throughout the entire park, they're switching it up.
It is time for our annual TED Talk about scare actor etiquette. Huge shout out to every single performer and scare actor working at HHN and just all the team members. It takes an army to put this thing on. Everybody gives their blood, sweat, and tears for this event to make sure the fans have a good experience. But the scare actors also need to have a good experience. Guests can become kind of stalkerish with performers sometimes. Please respect the scare actors' boundaries, right? Even though you see them in a scare zone every day, they're not your friend. So don't go tracking them down on Instagram or Facebook and messaging them for their set times and trying to follow them. Please be respectful of the performers. Don't be a creep. So we have Eddie and Chance in HHN this year. People get really weird about those characters. So I would say if you are a performer who is portraying one of those characters, put all your socials on private because people are going to try to find you. A lot of times performers will post on their close friends list when their set times are. That's when you know it's right for you to kind of show up and to visit them. If you're not actually their friend, don't like stalk them and try to find them. It's insane what the performers have to go through. Ryan did post a great video about the behind the scenes of kind of what it takes to be a scare actor at HHN. You might see a little cameo from Allison in it. Great video if you want to know what it's like behind the scenes as a performer.
No food testing happening today, so there's no updates about food, but we do have some updates about HHN Hollywood.
So Five Fires posted this. What should we call them? So this pumpkin has appeared in the Fortnite Scare Zone. It also looks like the Aussie Bar facade has been installed. And then he said, it's so beautiful. We have the new Halloween Horror Nights sign that's going to illuminate inside the Fortnite Scare Zone. Also, it looks like the Aussie chair is inside the Aussie Bar. And then they're also setting up for the Death Eaters. But interesting enough, the Backlot Club new little towers have appeared inside the window. So there'll probably be a different HHN Backlot Club experience. And also the lower lot signage has been installed for Stranger Things and Killer Clowns. And then also the signage for Sinners and Kill Siniera.
57 Scare, they've switched the signage for that. But we have a better view of the Leave It to Cleaver promotional art based on a terrifying true story. There's also another poster right next to us. Silver Screams. You got the usher right there with his ticket. Got a massive Killer Clown set piece over here. In the front of the machine, it looks like there's gonna be a fog machine with lights that's gonna be set up inside there. Has not been plugged in yet, but there'll be a fog effect. But this set piece is massive. There's also some speakers in the front, so we're definitely got some sound effects. There's a speaker there and a speaker right there. Let's loop around and see what other details we can spot. Some light bulbs are gonna illuminate right down there. There's probably some gory body underneath there. This thing is just massive though. Killer Clowns are really taking over this entire area of the street. If you're a Killer Clowns fan, you're gonna have a lot of fun this year. Now the barricades have been taken down in front of the tribute store. There's a tarped up body of something right here on the main stage. As you know, we're gonna have a scare actor up here, and then you'll have some sort of gory-fied prop piece right there. You really can't even get an angle of the prop piece from behind. They have it all covered up. The tent is wide open now. We can clearly see Jack's blender inside the blue tent. they added more polka dots to the stage. So to the right, we can see the emblem that's on the Jack in the Box with Jack, and then the tattoo that Chance has. So could we have Chance and Jack on the stage? It's great to see the massive blender back. So we're definitely gonna have some sort of massive kind of show happening on this main stage. If you look closely, you can see a character trigger right there. Looks like on the stage, they've done some chalk markings to let the performer know where they need to stand and how far they can kind of go out on the stage. So yesterday at the midway of the bazaar, we saw them put kind of the busts up of the clowns, but now they've added heads. And I feel like there's probably real human heads on the bust because we can see real human hair popping out from behind the cloth. There's definitely a gory human head on top of the bus, and it looks like they're gonna move. You can see kind of the little motors back there, so the heads might move back and forth. Not too much new on the stage where the puppets are. We did get this new little lantern. It will be illuminated. We can see the cord going all the way back there and then looping around with all this stuff. There's a character trigger right there, but it's hooked up to, is that maybe a fog machine? So something's gonna happen there. This is gonna move, and then we know this little guy moves back and forth. We have a new sign over here. So these look like different clowns throughout the years. 2000, you have Jill, Pepper. 2001, Slappy and Phil. 2021 is Dan. 2023 is Cheese. 2005 to 2007 is Smiles, Angel, Ralph, Sarah. 2009 to 2010 is Pickles and John, Ham and Donna. And then 2015 has a question mark on it, but there's a skull and crossbones. I didn't notice this till I was editing the Pooh Bear dog collar from Killer Clowns. Not actually on a name tag. They wrote it on one of those Jack 2000 parade medallions. We've seen those pop up throughout Hollywood, New York, and then also right here. Over here by the Evil Dead Burn sign, we have some new details that got added. We got the journal right there. So there will be some sort of effect because we can see red lights down there. If you look closely, there's a red light right there and a red light right there. We got the journal that has now popped up. $25, we have Holly's necklace from Stranger Things 5, and then there's a little character down at the bottom. $35, they have the artist signature series poster. I wonder if they're gonna do another signing this year. This is all human-made art by talented artists here at Universal Studios. Time to hop into Universal Sweets and try our next HHN snack. This is the last one. I've been trying to get this for a couple days now, but it's the Evil Dead Burn chocolate cherry cheesecake, so we'll pick that up. So we've tried the cocoon, we've tried the Hellraiser chocolate, we've tried the Jack sugar cookie, we've tried the Dan pies. So we're slowly getting through the entire case line. I've handled it for about 10 seconds. My hands look like it's a crime scene, so watch out. It's gonna be the Evil Dead Burn like cherry cheesecake. That eyeball looking at us. It tastes almost like a Christmas mousse for some reason. Let's see if there's anything inside the eyeball. Looks like there's cherry inside the eyeball maybe. Because this just tastes like a really rich, soft mousse.
That's where the cherry is. It's rich, but not overpowering. So if you're just a fan of the chocolate, that's there for you. Sometimes people don't like cherry, so it's kind of separated inside that eyeball. I'm gonna do like a 9 out of 10.
All right, we're heading through City Walk now. Darren Scott did tweet out something else.
So Darren asked this, for Badlands, Cage Cannibals is a post-apocalyptic SF. I think this is going to be one of the sleeper hit original content houses of HHN 35. You're going into a defunct zoo in a post-apocalyptic era. There are no more animals in this zoo. There are no more animals on Earth. There are only humans, and these humans are cannibals. The humans that reside within this zoo have taken the tropes and traits of the animals that they see in the photos in the zoo. These humans are all cannibalizing their victims in the way they see these animals eating their prey. As you enter, we are their next meal. This will be a bloody and beautifully aesthetic house. Now, Darren also asked about the 2 live shows for this year, and they responded with 2 live shows. There's gonna be Stranger Things, Return to Hawkins on the Lagoon, and then we have Nightmare Fuel Blood Noir with a whole new story, whole new set, all new costumes. Fuel Girls are coming back. We have all new aerial acts, which is so cool. There's a flying coffin and a dual aerial act on a flying coffin, which is just spectacular. The Fuel Girls are going to be the vampire hunters, which is so fun because I've talked to several people and they were like, we thought they would totally be the vampires, but no. I love that Charles Gray, again, he flipped the script a little bit and gave the Fuel Girls a different role, and they're really jazzed about it. So it's going to be a really, really great show. He's also putting a little horror into Nightmare Fuel, which I love. There may be some blood moments. There may be some entrails that you see, which we haven't quite done there. But I really love that he's going there to put the horror into that that show.
I gotta say, where are the podcasts? Like Universal said these podcasts are coming, the round table, and then also the backstory podcast for some of the zones and the houses. Like it starts in a couple days. I feel like they're gonna drop them during the event. So you should drop them before, build up the hype, build up the interest so you kind of know what you're walking into story-wise.
They do have the advertisements now on the screens.
Okay guys, we're back in the office. So we have a massive Halloween Horror Nights week ahead of us. We got the Tribute Store, we got the Coconut Club, we got Premium Scream, and then we got opening night. It's gonna be a massive week. No HHN update tomorrow, but we might have another Halloween video tomorrow, maybe. We'll see. Depends on how I'm feeling. But guys, on that note, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. If you have not already, hit the subscribe button and join the family.
I love the family.
Because I'm gonna keep you up to date on all things Halloween Horror Nights and Universal Studios around the country. I love y'all. I'll see y'all soon.
Please be respectful of the performers.
My hands look like
Hooterade?
so watch out.